Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if it's your first time. Hands starting to bleed a little bit, but early, kind of early in the day here, just getting going with the rats. This will be my second rat of the day. I don't think I'm going to have a very busy day with the rats. I am making kind of a couple similar rats today. So some rats that I've already previously made. So as always, find the face of your rat. You kind of see the nose here. And the foil is not, I didn't make this to look anything like a rat. You can find a rat in any foil if you know where to look. So like for example, this one I would probably do, there's the nose right there, there's the eye right there. Anyway, getting into that, I know that becomes almost a lunacy of mine. People believe that I'm not making sense sometimes, and I understand that, but again, on this channel, reminder that I am not always being literal when I'm saying these things. I'm not actually seeing a rat there. What I'm saying is look for shapes that you can, familiar shapes that you can turn into a rat. And the thing with people, with humans, is that a lot of times you can make a face that's not, you can see a face in things that are not human or not even really alive most of the time. You can, that's what we do with clouds. Very interesting thing. So I got the cheeks. For example, here's two eyes and a mouth almost, but I guess that would actually be kind of a sick-ass rat if I do that. Just, right? Just kind of two eyes. It's almost like a fish. Anyway, that's not what I'm going to do, but that would be a sick-ass rat. What I am going to do is just quickly form up this rat. I think this is going to be one of my quicker rats. I say that often, but and I'm going to go back to kind of just talking about my normal topics here, things going on in my life, and I did have a little bit of a rant in the last video, but that's okay. Sometimes you have to defend your art at all costs. I'll pause this and be right back. Sorry about that. Stepped away for a minute there. Yeah, but where was I? Basically just talking about being yourself, doing your art, and defending your art. That's what I was going to say. You can't spell art without rat, so keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme type shit. Okay, so basically what I'm doing here, I do have a little bit of a clay deposit on my finger, which is screwing me up. Just kind of shaping the face, softening up the line work, and kind of build the cheek to follow under. There we go, perfect. So find your shape and build around the shapes to kind of form what you're looking for overall. See that it chins a little bit. That's much better. Okay, this one's cheek's a little high on that side. I'll soften that side a little bit. That's much better. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add the mouth first. Usually I do the nose first. shape kind of locked in there. Don't feel like going too crazy with the rats tonight. So I am going to just be doing a couple, and then I'll come back and hit a couple more tomorrow. I'll take a light day from rat work. It's kind of always going back, and it's a give and take process. Sometimes I'm softening the lines, sometimes I'm hardening the lines. Mostly just building the line and then taking it back a little bit at a time until you get to where you want to be. This is going to be the mouth. Let me try to get that centered on the face. Bring the lips out. Form it up. I do love this tool, but it does have a little bit of a seam on it, which is irritating. And then it is tough sometimes to get in these spots in between the lips and things like that, but just do the best you can. There's no pressure with your rats. As long as you're satisfied with your rat, that's really all anyone can ask. So I'm forming the lips, and then I'm gonna kind of reshape. I'm forming a blob, adding 2 lips, just using any tool you got. I use this same tool pretty much for everything. And then from there, just kind of reshaping again, pulling back. Nothing too crazy, don't want to go overboard with the reshape, just want to get it to where you're happy with the shape. And I think I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do, the same thing I did on the last rat, where I added 2 spots for the eyes, and what I'm going to do is just add the eyes. These are going to be the spots for the eyes, so I'm going to just add this little extra clay here to counteract what I'm going to do with the tool when I press in, because I want these to be large eye slots. I want these to be very large eyes in these rats, so I'm going to need a little bit of extra clay up here just to kind of balance that out. And you will see what I mean as soon as I get this all put together. I don't want to go too crazy here because I don't want to actually affect my shape. I just want to get this clay in position. Okay, so you see the eye is going to go here. Cheek is still there, intact, and not too far altered from its original iteration. And then very carefully here, add this, reform the nose, where the bridge of the nose should be, I'll say. And we'll go forward. And now you see, kind of got good space there for the eye holes. This side is a little bit overdone, I think. So what I'll do now is just kind of constantly reshaping, constantly reworking. I don't want to go too low, I don't want to go too high. I'll just add that, and you see there you go. And that extra little slot of clay there gave me the ability to push in without affecting the shape of the rat too much. It doesn't look very much like a rat yet because we are still noseless on this build. Right now, just kind of smoothing out what we are working with. What we do have is I want this to be there we go. And then this is going to be a little bit of a task here. So I'll just do this as I normally do. I'm just going to make a cylinder, like so. Add the cylinder to the rat, and then we will work from here to form this to the face. And I don't want to. You want to be very careful around the eye sockets. Don't want to go too crazy there. Don't want to alter that shape too much if I can help it. Just kind of lightly build it in there. And you can go in there and clean up your lines. So if anything does get out of hand there, just always remember it's just clay. You can rework it and get back to where you need to be. Rat almost looking almost chameleon-like, I would say. Make the nose a little less pointy, kind of more. Okay. I think we're going to go back in and just make sure we have the correct shaping for the eyes. Just kind of want to make sure we are not too screwed up there. Okay. Again, kind of just pull them back. Give and take, give and take. And you got a pretty good basic rat shape there. So now what I'm going to do is one more time, just pull that, pull that. And then I'm going to go straight through the nose. Very important to go straight through the nose. And then I'll go one under, one equal, in that same spot. I'm going to go one under, one equal, fill that out, and you got a really good rat there. Got a really good foundation for a rat. Okay, so I'm going to bake this rat, and I will come back the baked product. I will paint up. Again, I'm forgetting the ears just like I did on my last build. I am making the ears a little bit thicker than you would think. Let's see if I can get a good side image here of how thick the ears are. And you see it's kind of a thick ear because you want to have enough space left over to where, or I'm sorry, you want to have enough of strong form to where it is gripping the head and still leaving that confident, giving you the confidence that when you ship this rat, you're not going to get someone telling you that they received a subpar rat with one ear, or even worse, no ears, as in they both had fallen. So just be very careful about your ears. Again, I talk about this a lot, but ear placement is not as complicated as you may think. You just kind of gotta eyeball it. I think I am gonna sign this rat. I normally don't always sign my rats, but okay, so as long as it is smoothed out fairly well, in pretty good shape, looking pretty good. We can go ahead and throw this bad boy right in the oven, and I will be back when we are out of there. Okay, well, I got the paint mat out for my other rats. I will paint this rat's first coat. And again, the rules of the rat first coats are lay the paint down, and you don't have to go too crazy here on the first coat. You just want to lay your paint down. It does not have to be perfect. Try to keep it even. Make sure you get full coverage if possible. Don't leave any white. And we will come back, and anything you miss, this will be something you can come back to on the next step of this process. So this is one of those, as I always say, trust the process kind of moments. Make sure your whisker holes are not clogged with paint if you can help it. And just kind of get it laid on there thick. That's it. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't even have to worry too much about this coat. Inside the eye is important. And sorry, I forgot to get that one. Forgot to mention that. But that'll be good for now, and we will come back and finish it, clean it up in just a moment. Okay, I'm back with this rat. Getting ready to drop some eyes in this fucker. Oh, I do apologize again. I don't know what's gotten into me on this channel. Did not start this channel for it to be anything but a family channel about rat making, and I do apologize that I think that's the second F-bomb on the channel, so it is slightly disconcerting. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and make the eyes. I like to make them slightly oval shaped. Pick the better looking side, place the eye in the eye hole, and then kind of form the eye according to the shape. Oh, that was a misstep on my part there. Now this one is good. I like this one. This one is not what I was looking for. again. So shape the eye, get the eye into position. That's not the right, there we go, that's what we're looking for right there. And that's what we're looking for right there. And then we'll get this in there to bake, and we will come back when it's time to paint. Actually, not what I'm looking for. Let's try this one last time here. I think I went a little too far. So oval shape, get it in there. I do have my hair and my face here messing me up a little bit. I don't want to underdo it, but I certainly can see myself getting to an overdue if I keep going at this here. And that is it right there for that rat. Okay, I'm back with this rat. I did add the whiskers already. And now I'm just doing the ears quickly. Quickly do the lips. Usually do the lips and the ears the same colors. You don't want to go too overboard with the colors. You don't want to have too much going on. Be really careful here. Getting really, really dangerously close here. Okay. There we go. We'll have the minor details here. I did add the whiskers separately, which normally I do not do, but it's just such a long thing, and I'm kind of just doing the same thing every time. So I did just add those. Okay. And there you go. There is that rat finished up. Quickly gonna trim the whiskers to shape. I'm sorry, to size. There it is from the front and the side, and there again from the front. That one will either be for sale or be sold, so keep an eye out for that one since it is a duplicate. Thank you for watching. Bye.